Good evening, everybody, and welcome to TEDxFrome. My name is Dawn Denton, and I am so thrilled to be introducing our guest this evening, Dr. Khurram Sadiq, and he is going to be talking about creating that happy place, you know, that place that we spend so much time in the work environment. Please do check out on YouTube. We have all our previous talks, and it is so exciting to meet all these amazing speakers. And every week, I think it cannot get better. And every week, we just get these more amazing human beings and more of them. So it's just this mountain of ideas. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And I am thrilled to hear about your experiences and your talk. So Dr. Khurram Sadiq is a consultant psychiatrist and mentor, and he is also a leadership coach, activist, and TEDx speaker, and a public educator with a specialism in neurodevelopmental conditions. Phew, that's a job title. That's fantastic. His idea worth spreading this evening is a happy place, dynamics of an effective workplace. And this is called a compassionate leadership model. So over to you, and we look forward to hearing.
Thank you very much, Dawn. So take a moment to think about the workplaces you have worked in and the leaders within. What were those leaders like? Perhaps they had strong presence. Maybe they were charismatic. Or possibly they may have had some narcissistic traits that often come along with power. Our concept of leadership has evolved over a period of time. It is influenced by so many factors that can be media, stereotyping, role models that we have seen across our lifespan. Well, today we're going to challenge and unlearn everything we think about leadership. I'm going to share with you why some of the ideas about leadership are incorrect, what is leadership all about, and how can we ensure that we use a compassionate leadership model so that every workplace is a happy place for everyone. Well, to do this, we have to go back to the basics. Leadership is all about people. People who are around us, people who work at every level in an organization. When people are fulfilled, they're contented and recognized, everything goes well. But when they are not, which is so often the case, it leads to high stress levels. It leads to high turnover in the jobs, low morale, low productivity. For the organization, it costs a lot of money, time, and resources. Whereas for the person, it costs them their happiness, both at workplace as well as in their professional lives. Would it surprise you if I tell you that we spend more than 50% of our time working? So if you're not happy at our work, or if you're not happy at the workplace we are in, it will trickle down into our personal lives. There will come a stage where we will have problems, and the people around us will have lots of problems as well. And it is not the number of hours we spend at our workplace, it is the satisfaction that we get that provide harmony in our personal lives. Well, according to one study which was done in Boston, the child well-being is not dependent on the number of hours the parents put in at work, but more so the mood they come in as they walk into the door. Well, the million-dollar question is, how do we ensure that people are fulfilled, they are contented, and they are recognized at the workplace so that they have a better life outside of work? Well, it is by creating what I call a happy place. And who would not want to be in a happy place? A happy place is where you want to be on a Monday morning, where you love to work, spending your time amongst other people. Sounds like utopia. It might also sound idealistic, but believe me, it is very doable. So how do we have to do that? How do I know that it is a happy place? How have I come across this concept? Well, I have been in psychiatry for about 16 years, and I have come across various workplaces all my life. Some of them have not been very functional, in fact, very dysfunctional. It has given me an opportunity to use my own leadership ideas and to flex my leadership muscles. In fact, transforming a few of those environments as well. And today I'm going to share with you 2 examples. But before we move on, firstly, what is this happy place? A place where there's flattened hierarchy, where perspectives are respected, people are visible, voices are heard, support is plentiful, learning is a bliss and a joy, and there's ownership. Now, if you've not worked in an environment like this, you will think utopia. I'll start with my first example then. I was working in South Manchester in a crisis resolution home treatment team, where I met some brilliant trainee registrars, and we created a learning hub which was full of buzz, and we called it a happy place. That place was a thrill to work in, and it was so exciting being part of that pioneering team, in which we discussed so many things. We discussed about challenging hierarchies. We created a platform which facilitated storytelling, honesty, coaching, mentoring, and created a learning hub which was fun-filled, energized, yet in a very laid-back environment. We learned so much from it. It gave us clarity in our future roles. And even when we still meet, we talk very passionately about it. Well, my second example is where I'm working nowadays. Crisis resolution home treatment team in Hampshire. I was chosen for the job based on my expertise. It was a team that was lacking support and was completely deflated. The environment was a chaos. There were poor processes in place, low self-esteem, confidence issues, and no sense of direction. Despite this all negativity, I could see sparks of brilliance among some very amazing and caring human beings. So instead of locking myself within my office behind closed doors, I got onto the floor, started working with the team, answering their questions and their concerns, putting in processes in place, at the same time, spotting any patterns, fitting it with common sense, energizing them with novel ideas, at the same time, creating a fun-filled learning hub. Believe me, in 6 months' time, the team transformed from being one of the most challenged team in the area to being one of the most competent teams in the area. And we were shortlisted for a Quality Improvement Award. And would you like to know what was so impressive and what was so brilliant about it? It wasn't that difficult. All it needed was compassion. Compassion plus a dash of passion. Passion for change, passion for learning, and most importantly, passion for people. Effective leadership model is based on the principle of humanity, common sense, and more importantly, people. The best example is that of Nelson Mandela. He created a rainbow nation using rugby, a sport. He helped his nation move on and forget and forgive what has happened to them in the past. Directing people is a skill. Giving direction to people and getting them on your side is an art. But getting your enemies and foes to talk about you nicely and being on your side, that is a masterstroke. And Mandela was a master at that. So if more leaders were employing those simple principles, more workplaces will be a happy place. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. And I am so proud that you mentioned Nelson Mandela, because of course he means a lot to us in South Africa. Yeah. There's three amazing words that I got from your talk, and one is ownership. And I often think that leadership is not just about being the boss or leading the team, but it's just about taking ownership of a role, isn't it? Of a task, of a concept or an idea. How do you think storytelling plays such an important role in leadership?
I think because we associate ourselves with people, and it is relatable. Stories are relatable. Stories are basically, everybody has stories, and we can relate to each of those stories in a different way, or in some ways. So that is, and again, it will entice you, it will hook you, it will capture you, and it will make you think about things. Instead, if you throw in facts about people, then they might forget about it the next day. But if it is a story, they will remember the story.
Absolutely, and they can often relate to the story.
Yes.
So I think the compassion, ownership, and storytelling for me really encompasses everything that leadership is all about. What are so you said Nelson Mandela is someone you admire in leadership. Is there somebody else or skills or traits that you think are important in a leader?
I think it's honesty. It is a caring nature, supporting people, helping people, and respecting people. And these are the most important things. And again, if you associate with people, I always feel that communication, rather than getting into an argument with somebody, we should create a conduit where we can have some conversation, thinking about knowing people's perspectives, listening to them, and then having solutions. I think this is, for me, leadership is. It's not about charismatic personalities. It's not about having a strong presence. It's about having a very sedate nature. It's about having very caring nature. And I believe it's all about people. Whether it is leadership, whether it's business, you keep people happy, things happen.
Absolutely. And I think gone are the days where a leader was somebody who bullied their way into the position. I think that was left in the 20th century. I think nowadays we're focusing more on the emotional side of leadership to get the most out of people and out of ourselves, because of course we're also there to grow, and if we don't grow, then we don't move on either.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much. I really appreciate you joining us this evening at TEDxFrome, and I'm thrilled that you got to share your idea with spreading, and we do look forward to chatting to you, I'm sure, in the future. And would everybody please put in your diary for next week, Wednesday, as well, because every Wednesday leading up until March, we're going to be doing more short form digital program, and we would love your company. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will chat to you all soon. Bye-bye.